President Donald Trump broke with Republican Georgia Governor Brian Kemp at a White House press briefing Wednesday, saying it is too soon for the state to begin reopening. Kemp began the process of reopening his state from lockdown this week, but jumped the gun according to recommendations from the White House. Trump released phased reopening guidelines in early April, calling on states to only reopen after seeing a drop in the virus and flu-like cases for a minimum of 14 consecutive days, among other measures. President Trump said, "I told the governor of Georgia Brian Kemp that I disagree strongly with his decision to open certain facilities which are in violation of the Phase 1 guidelines for the incredible people of Georgia. They have been strong, resolute, but at the same time, he must do what he thinks is right. I want him to do what he thinks is right, but I disagree with him on what he is doing." He added, "I think it's too soon and I love the people. I love those people that use all of those things, the spas, the beauty parlors, barber shops, tattoo parlors, I love them, but they can wait a little bit longer." President Trump said Tuesday he's going to make sure that Harvard University gives back nearly $9 million it received in this virus disaster aid from the federal government. President Trump said at the daily White House task force briefing, "Harvard's going to pay back the money. When I saw Harvard, they have one of the largest endowments anywhere in the country." Harvard University, which has a $40 billion endowment, obtained nearly $9 million in relief as part of the $2.2 trillion aid package approved by Congress last month. The federal government required about half of the $9 million to be reserved for emergency financial aid grants to students. The CARES Act allocated about $14 billion for colleges and universities affected by the crisis. A university spokesman said Harvard received the money through the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund, and that half of the money was to be reserved for grants to students. Spokesman Jason Newton said, "Harvard is actually allocating 100% of the funds to financial assistance for students to meet their urgent needs in the face of this pandemic." President Trump on Wednesday said he has authorized the U.S. Navy to shoot down and destroy Iranian gunboats if they harass American ships at sea. His announcement comes 1 week after nearly a dozen of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy boats made several dangerous and harassing approaches to U.S. warships conducting joint operations with Army attack helicopters in international waters, U.S. military officials said. President Trump tweeted, "I have instructed the United States Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they harass our ships at sea." The IRGC Navy boats repeatedly crossed in front of and behind the U.S. ships at close range and at high speed. One of the Iranian boats came within 10 yards of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Maui, military officials said last week. On Monday, the IRGC acknowledged the close encounter with the U.S. ships in the Persian Gulf, the Associated Press reported. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have skyrocketed in recent months after the U.S. killed a top Iranian military commander, which led Iran to launch a missile strike on a U.S. military base in Iraq.